The Refactor Insight feature is a favorite of instructors. It helps identify students who are struggling and can point out topics that may need some additional review. This is the Course Insight page. It lets you visualize how all students in the course are doing on quick check and exercise assignments overall. The graphs at the top summarize the status of all students in the course, and things for this group are looking pretty good at the moment. Then we can begin to drill down into the details. For example, if we expand the QC3 assignment, we see that students in general did pretty well with these topics, though as a group they struggled a bit more on Boolean expressions than they did with most of the others. That might be a topic that warrants a bit of reinforcement. If we scroll down and select one of the exercise assignments, once again, things seem to be going pretty well, though a few of them wrestled with the count triples exercise. Perhaps talking that one through in class, or doing additional similar examples, might be time well spent. Let's go back to the QC assignment and click on the Boolean expressions topic. Instead of taking us to the topic itself, this takes us to the Topic Insight page, providing details about individual students regarding the QC questions of this topic. There's a similar insight page for individual exercises. In the list, we see the scores of each student, how many they answered correctly, and how many they got wrong along the way. It helps identify particular students that may need some support. This student, for instance, didn't even end up answering all of the questions correctly and got a whopping 12 wrong while answering the ones he did. That tells you that the student either wasn't making any real effort to understand the material, or perhaps he found this topic challenging. So we can drill down even further to the Student Insight page by clicking on the student's name. Now we see the various assignments listed again, but for this particular student. The graphs in the upper right show that his scores are all over the place, and that he has particularly struggled with the exercises. If we expand a particular assignment, we see which topics went well for this week and which ones didn't for this student. We see that again for this topic, even though he eventually got them all right, he got many answers wrong along the way. Each student, by the way, has access to a similar insight page for their own status. These insight pages help the instructor narrow in on topics and individual students that might need a bit more support.